Call this meeting to order. All right, I'd like to ask Mayor Nathan Blackwell from the Cornerstone Family Church, former mayor, City of St. Cloud, to come to the podium for the invocation. Would everybody please stand?
May we pray. Heavenly Father, it's been a beautiful day today. We want to thank you that you've allowed us to enjoy it. I pray your richest blessings on everyone who's here tonight. I pray you bless them, their health, and their families. I pray especially for our city. God, you've been so good. I just pray that you'd continue to bless our city. I know that we're growing and it presents a lot of challenges. I just pray especially that you would bless all of our staff as they continue to faithfully serve our residents. I pray especially for all of our first responders, Lord, as they serve us and keep us safe. I pray, God, that you might keep them safe. I pray, Father, you would bless our city council as they make decisions that have a tremendous impact on the lives of our residents and on our city. I pray you'd give them wisdom. I pray that they might seek your face. And I pray, God, that you might bless our city in the days that are ahead in big ways. And we'll thank you for it. In the name of Jesus Christ, I pray. Amen.
Amen. All right, thank you, Pastor Blackwell. Yeah. Pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, will the clerk please call the roll?
Mayor Robertson.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert.
Here.
Councilmember Paul.
Here.
Councilmember Urban.
Here.
Councilmember Fletcher.
All right, thank you. And City Manager, do you have anything to add to the agenda?
Yes, thank you. I'd actually like to ask that we remove the first reading, number 1, for ordinance 2026-25. It will come back at a later date. And that's the only update I have. Thank you. It's under first readings. The first reading under first readings, ordinance 2026-25.
Thank you. All right, and I would like to add to the agenda for council to vote on, obviously. It's been an amazing month here at City of St. Cloud. We love to celebrate our community. We love to celebrate our public safety, our police, our fire. So in the name of that, I'd like to present a proclamation for Emergency Medical Services Week, National EMS Week, National Boating Week, and National Police Week. And I'd like to ask for a vote on that. And I'm going to go ahead and, if we can get a motion on that.
Motion approved.
Second. All right, we have a motion from Deputy Mayor Gilbert, second from Councilmember Urban. All those in favor, state aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Should I do an individual roll call? It really doesn't matter.
It doesn't
It's just
matter, sir.
Right. All right, thank you, sir. All right, first up, we have proclamation recognition of Older Americans Month to, let's go ahead and I'll come on down to the podium. All right, we have proclamation Employee of the Month, Older Americans Month, to Damarius Gutierrez.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. On behalf of our CEO, Wendy Ford, the entire Osceola Council on Aging team, and all the older Americans living in St. Cloud, it is an honor to accept this proclamation recognizing the Older Americans Month. Older Americans Month, led by the Administration of Community Living, is a time to celebrate strength, wisdom, and lasting contributions of older adults in our communities. It's also a reminder that aging is not simple about years. It is about impact, resilience, and the relationship that shape our lives. We are deeply grateful for this proclamation and for the continued commitment and partnership with the City of St. Cloud to serve and honor older adults, not just this month, but every day. Thank you for your commitment to make this a livable community for older Americans and for your continued assistance in supporting and serving the older citizens in our community. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry, it's a little warm up there, folks. I'm going to go ahead and read the proclamation. Whereas Osceola County is home to older adults who have shaped our community through their service, work, leadership, and commitment to family. And whereas Older American Month provide an opportunity to recognize the strength, wisdom, and contributions of older adults while reaffirming our commitment to supporting their independence, dignity, and quality of life. Whereas communities thrive when people of all ages are connected, engaged, and valued. Where in 2025, the Osceola Council on Aging supported older adults by providing 124,785 home-delivered meals, along with the provision of 96,520 hours of in-home services, thousands of hours of adult day health care services, promoting safety and social engagement to 96 clients, and the dedicated service of 447 volunteers who gave 26,426 hours of their time. And whereas these services reflect the strength of intergovernmental partnerships and the shared commitment of families, caregivers, volunteers, and the community leaders to ensure older adults can age with dignity and connection and purpose. Whereas through collaboration across generations, we can combat isolationism, promote wellness, and build a community where every older adult is respected and valued. Now, therefore, I, Christian B. Robertson, Mayor of the City of St. Cloud, along with City Council, do hereby proclaim the month of May 2026 to be Older Americans Month, and we urge every resident to take time this month to recognize older adults and the people who serve and support them as powerful and vital individuals who greatly contribute to community. We are stronger together across generations. Thank you. I'm warm up here, folks. A lot of hot air in the room. Next up, we have Employee of the Month to Ricardo Perez Villanueva by Edward Swap.
Mayor, Council, my name is Ed Swap. I'm the Natural Resources Superintendent. I have the honor to nominate Ricardo Perez for Employee of the Month. He is, if you do not know Ricardo, he is the jack of all trades, or jack of all Ricardos. He wants to make things look better in the city and lives and works in. And while he's working, he is helping do their, this might help. There we go. Hey. And he is working to help keep others do their work and teaching others to assist on their other projects. Keeping busy nonstop, that's Ricardo. I'm going to keep it short since we've got a bunch to go. Ricardo, if you've ever been up to Peghorn Nature Park, he built the Rainbow Bridge. If you're not familiar, it's the bridge that the mayor has actually, what's the word? Yes. Dedicated last year, and it's for people who've lost their fur babies. And he actually built this, and we also did ADA ramp out the backside of the trailhead. And most importantly, he just completed the project for reestablishing or reconditioning the cannery building, which is the historic building within the city that came over from Virginia Avenue over to Peghorn. And he saved the city tens of thousands of dollars by doing the work in-house. So I hope you all would join me in welcoming Ricardo and congratulate Ricardo on Employee of the Month.
Wow, quick. Okay, I thank Jesus Christ, my Savior, for this opportunity. It's an honor to me to be a City of St. Cloud employee. I thank our Mayor, Chris Robertson, and his great team for all they are doing for our city. I thank our Park and Rec Director, Stephanie Holtkamp, our Deputy Director, Michael Tenaro, my Supervisor, Ed Swap, for the great leadership on our division. I thank all my coworkers for the hard work every day in the city. And I cannot leave this room without thank my beautiful wife, Ruth, for all her support always. God bless. God bless all. God bless you. God bless this city, and God bless America.
Thank
Ricardo? Ricardo? This is yours. All right. And next up, I'm going to go ahead and read off the proclamations this council just voted for. And, all right. First up, we have National EMS Week. Whereas emergency medical services is a vital public service, and whereas this year's theme for National EMS Week, get our firefighters up here, our EMS, marks the 52nd anniversary of EMS Week. This theme highlights the collaborative approach, focusing on patient care and positive outcomes. From the moment a 911 call for help is received, communication operators answer the call and provide pre-arrival medical instructions while dispatching fire rescue and police to the scene. The beginning of the outcome has started. On arrival of the emergency scene, crews initiate care and provide high-quality basic and advanced medical care that continues during transport to the hospital, where our healthcare partners build on what was started with one phone call. The result, professionals from multiple organizations and entities all working collaboratively to improve patient outcomes. Whereas the St. Cloud Fire Rescue Department provides emergency medical services and life-saving care to those in need 24 hours a day, every day of the year. And whereas access to quality emergency care dramatically improves the survival and recovery rate of those who experience sudden illness or injury. And whereas the emergency medical services system consists of first responders, emergency medical technicians, paramedics, emergency medical dispatchers, firefighters, police officers, pre-hospital nurses, emergency physicians, trained members of the public, and other out-of-hospital medical care providers. And whereas it is appropriate to recognize the value and the accomplishments of the emergency medical service providers by designated Emergency Medical Services Week. Now therefore, I, Christian B. Robertson, Mayor of the City of St. Cloud, Florida, along with the City Council, do hereby proclaim the week of May 17th to 23rd, 2026 as National EMS Week in the City of St. Cloud, as we celebrate the EMS providers, these folks, who risk their lives and health to protect the well-being of others.
Hi, my name is Jason Miller, Fire Chief here at St. Cloud. I cannot be proud of our men and women of the fire department. Every year, we respond to about 9,000 calls for in the city. 75% of those are for EMS. It's the lion's share of the fire service that stays. Every day, our people train to do the best they can at any given moment. We've had a number of serious calls. Most recently, people see them on Facebook every day. Please keep our firefighters and paramedics, EMTs in your thoughts and prayers, and remember that they are doing things that a lot of times nobody else would want to see. With that, I'd like to congratulate men and women behind me because they're representing our department tonight, but they represent the community every day, and we thank you for that.
Good to see.
And I see we have some other guests here in the room. Would the Coast Guard Auxiliary Unit please come on up here? I got to spend the morning with Jim today. How you doing? Hi, how are you, sir? Good to see you. All right. For over 100 million Americans, boating continues to be a popular recreational activity. From coast to coast and everywhere in between, people are taking to the water, enjoying time together boating, sailing, paddling, and fishing. During National Safe Boating Week, the U.S. Coast Guard and the National Safe Boating Council, along with federal, state, and local safe boating partners, encourage all boaters to explore and enjoy America's beautiful waters responsibly. Safe boating begins with preparation. The Coast Guard estimates that human error accounts for most boating accidents and that life jackets could prevent nearly 75% of boating fatalities. Through basic boating safety procedures, carrying life-saving emergency distress and communications equipment, wearing life jackets, attending safe boating courses, participating in free boat safety checks, and staying sober while navigating, we can help to ensure boaters on America's coastal, inland, and offshore waters stay safe throughout the season. Whereas on average, 650 people die each year in boating-related accidents in the U.S., 75% of these are fatalities caused by drowning. And whereas the vast majority of these accidents are caused by human error or poor judgment and not by the boat, equipment, or environmental factors. And whereas a number of boaters who lose their lives by drowning each year would be alive today had they worn their life jackets. Whereas the U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary Flotilla 0701710 Osceola protects and serves the citizens of St. Cloud in preventing boating accident by conducting complimentary vessel safety exams at both the St. Cloud Marina and Chisholm Park boat ramps, in addition to boating safety classes and distribution of boating safety and federal boating regulation information to our boaters. Now therefore, I, Christian B. Robertson, Mayor of the City of St. Cloud, Florida, along with the City of Council, do support the goals of the Safe Boating Campaign and proclaim May 16th to the 22nd, 2026 as National Boating Week and the start of the year-round effort to promote safe boating. I urge all of those who boat to practice safe boating habits and wear a life jacket at all times while boating.
Mr. Mayor, on behalf of the U.S. Coast Guard and U.S. Coast Guard Auxiliary, we appreciate this proclamation. And I know most of you guys don't see us out there, but on weekends, we are out at Chisholm Park or the marina down here, trying to do vessel exam. Most people refuse it, but quite a few we do. I'm also responsible for life vest wearing, observation, and you would not believe it. We do it covertly, not in uniform. Almost 90% do not wear a life vest. So, this is our flotilla commander. I'm the division commander, and he's one of our other, I forgot.
Vessel examiner.
So, you want to say a quick word and we get out of here?
One of the things that I have found out with the public is the reason why they don't want us to do vessel exams is because they believe that we can give fines or stop them from boating. We do not have that authority. We don't want that authority. What we're there for is to make sure that you have the safety instruments that you need to be out on the water. We're there to educate you, help you be safe, find things that you might need to be safe. One of the things is I tell people all the time, you need a mirror on your boat so you can reflect the light to somebody if you're in danger. A lot of people say, I don't have a mirror. If you have an old CD, DVD, Blu-ray player, there's your mirror. It's not that hard. You don't actually have to go out and buy a lot of stuff. If you see one of us somewhere, and you have a question, ask us. If we don't know the answer right then and there, we will find out the answer and get back with you with that answer.
It's so sleepy!
It's my phone. I forgot to turn it off, but it's a cool ringtone. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for everything y'all do. Look, these guys are all volunteer. I've known for many years. I've celebrated with them at the Coast Guard celebration, the birthday celebration every year at the Coast Guard station. So thank them very much for going out there and doing those safety checks. All right, last but not least, we have National Police Week. Whereas the city of St. Cloud proudly recognizes the dedicated men and women of law enforcement who serve our community with courage, professionalism, integrity, and honor. Whereas law enforcement officers work tirelessly to protect life and property, preserve peace and order, uphold the law, and ensure the safety and well-being of all residents and visitors. Can we have the officers come on up here and join us with this one? I would love to have everybody to come on up here. I'm sure y'all know who I'm talking about, right? Whereas these public servants routinely place themselves in harm's way and make personal sacrifices in service to others in protection of the rights and freedoms we cherish. And whereas the city recognizes that effective law enforcement is strengthened through compassion, accountability, community partnerships, and mutual trust between officers and the citizens that they serve. Whereas law enforcement personnel also play an important role in mentoring youth, assisting those in crisis, supporting victims, promoting public safety, and working collaboratively with schools, businesses, and neighborhood organizations to build a stronger community. And whereas the city of St. Cloud further recognizes the sacrifices made by the families of law enforcement officers and honors those officers who have lost their lives or suffered injuries in the line of duty. And whereas National Police Week provides an opportunity for citizens to express appreciation for the dedicated service of local, county, state, and federal law enforcement personnel, including sworn officers, dispatchers, correctional officers, school resource officers, and civilian support staff. Now therefore, I, Christian B. Robertson, Mayor of the City of St. Cloud, Florida, along with the City Council, do hereby proclaim May 10th through May 16th, 2026 as National Police Week.
Ed, you have to smile.
So good evening, everybody. My name is Doug Gerke. I'm the Chief of Police for this amazing city, and we're blessed, absolutely blessed to serve each one of you. I'd like to regale you with an amazing incident that occurred just on May 2nd. I'm sure everyone saw it. It got national attention for a boat rescue. So it's very timely that we speak about boater safety. So on May 2nd, 2026, at approximately 12:48 p.m., the St. Cloud Police Department received an urgent distress call reporting that a vessel with 6 passengers was taking on water on East Lake Toho. Recognizing the immediate danger to life, responding units rapidly mobilized the St. Cloud at the boat basin to initiate a marine rescue. At approximately 1:05 p.m., Marine One, operated by Officer Michael McDonald, arrived at the boat basin accompanied by his son, Officer Shane McDonald, who was on patrol that day. While preparing for an immediate deployment, Officer McDonald encountered nearby citizen, Mr. Serafin Herdia, got it, affectionately known as Surf, who was already on the water in his personal vessel. Without hesitation, Surf volunteered his assistance and joined the rescue effort, demonstrating extraordinary courage and selflessness. Using navigational guidance provided by the Osceola County Sheriff's Office helicopter, which was now hovering over the sinking vessel, both rescue vessels arrived on the scene at approximately 1:11 p.m. Responders located a small watercraft nearly submerged to the waterline. 4 occupants were clinging desperately to the sinking vessel, while 2 additional victims were already in the water. Compounding the severity of the situation, only 2 of the 6 individuals at the time had life jackets on. and it was conveyed that several occupants potentially could not swim. Surf immediately rescued one of the victims from the water and brought them safely on board his vessel. Simultaneously, Officer Michael and Shane McDonald, father and son, maneuvered Marine One along the sinking craft and acted swiftly and decisively to remove 3 additional passengers from the vessel while also rescuing another individual from the water. Moments later, a responding Osceola County Sheriff's Office airboat arrived on scene and safely recovered the final victim. Through decisive action, exceptional teamwork, and an unwavering commitment to preserving human life, all 6 individuals were rescued from an extremely dangerous and potentially fatal situation. The coordinated effort of the St. Cloud Police Department, Marine Patrol Unit, the assistance of Mr. Heredia, and the response of the Osceola County Sheriff's Office personnel exemplifies the highest standards of professionalism, courage, and dedication to public safety. Today, the City of St. Cloud proudly recognizes Officer Michael McDonald and Officer Shane McDonald, along with Surf, for the heroic actions, selfless service, and extraordinary efforts on May 6, 2026. Their courage and quick response undoubtedly saved lives and reflect great credit on them and the entire community. So if I can have those 3 come up here, we're going to show a video.
Got any people? Let's get them. I got you. Get you guys on board. Okay. Gonna go to the other side. Shane, grab her. Yes, grab the best. Get her on. Come on. Roll down under her shoulders. Get her on. She's in. Pieza aquí, guys. Stable. Shane, over here. Pieza aquí arriba. Sí, ahí. Despacio, primo, despacio. Sí, despacito. We're in one step out. All 6 safely ashore. Thank Osceola County Fire Department, STAR, our amazing dispatchers. Thank you very much. Oh, that's why we are here. Thank you. I sent him. I was like, "C-Star, go please." Yeah. I still had a rope start up, wait for my backup. He was out there. I thought you were gonna jump up with him. I almost did, but I was waiting for my backup, who happened to be my son today. I am. Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. What a great day, though, right? What a great day. Everybody's safe.
You were on the boat, correct? Okay. So I just wanted to share a few things because this obviously went viral. This was all across the country. They were on multiple shows. So they were on Good Morning America. It was also on Good Day Orlando. I saw the videos as far as California and the state of Washington. So as humble as every one of these individuals are, they kept asking me, when is this going to be over? Well, it's not over until it's over. But as you can see, this went viral. So with that being said, please help me just give another round of applause and for everyone that did this. Okay.
I thank you very much. I feel really grateful with you, with the other teams, with everything. You are my heroes.
Michael McDonald. I don't have an iPhone in front of me or a speech, but what a great day that was. It was our first day on Marine Patrol. And something that comes behind all this, and again, please forgive me for not having a planned speech. Praise God for council that has approved the community engagement team. And the reason I say that is the reason Surf was so welcoming to me is because I met him while on duty in my downtown detail, which has been granted to the city for community engagement. Had I never met Surf, I wouldn't have felt comfortable. And let me tell you the little funny story behind that. He knew something was wrong because someone my age, we'll leave it at that, doesn't sprint very often. I'm either, if I'm sprinting, it's to the bathroom, some of you know what I'm saying, or there's something wrong. And he picked up on, obviously I wasn't heading to the bathroom, he saw me sprinting and he's like, Mac, are you okay? And I said, no, I'm not okay. And he had just dropped off Ivy and Verge. And he said, what do you need? I said, you see that helicopter? I need you to go there, there's 6 people in the water. And that's what Surf did. He didn't question anything. He whipped around. He's a hero. He whipped around and got there, and we just followed him, and he was the one throwing the rope in there. And people don't realize, I did a little bit of homework, okay? That lake is gator heaven. There are 6,000 alligators in that lake, 1,000 of which are over 10 feet. I did my homework. 1,000 of which are over 10 feet long, okay? It is marshy for the exits. It's warm and it's shallow. Lots of fish, lots of birds. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And they were 2 miles out. And I was told 5 of them could not swim. Okay, so I don't know that. Is that correct? Yes. All right then, so we can tell you that, not to mention severe weather alert, so no other boaters were on the water. The waves were at 3 to 4 foot chop. It was nasty. So when you're looking at 5 people that can't swim 2 miles, we are looking at a recovery rather than a rescue. By the grace of God, everything that day went perfect. Thank you to STAR. Thank you for the fire department for being ready. Thank you, Surf, for just being there at the right time. Ivy, thank you for letting them use your boat. Okay? All right. Thank the fire department again, STAR, Deputy Koch, who was there, Chief for letting our Marine Patrol unit be on duty, and all of the citizens who voted to have a community outreach team, a community engagement team. So there was a lot to that. And my son, who gets that? That day, it was great. His sergeant was like, Mac, you need, okay, I'm going to tell you what he really said. Okay, so as you can tell, we're father and son, so we're in there on the road sometime. It's not McDonald, it's Papa Mac or Big Mac and Baby Mac. And they don't hesitate to say that on the radio. And so his sergeant was like, he's like, Papa Mac, you need Baby Mac? I said, 10-4, so we're lights and sirens on the way. So thank God for Sergeant Esch for kicking him out there. Also, you don't see the approach. If you saw the helicopter approach, that boat approach takes hundreds and hundreds of hours to not run over people in the water. I've never trained with storm water because we're not allowed to train in nasty weather. That would make sense. So to do that takes hundreds of hours of training. So thank God for our trainers, Sergeant Stockdill and Sergeant Lawson. And thank God, and I'm going to give you my impression of Sergeant Lawson in our training. Are you ready? What was that? That's Sergeant Lawson. And he's got his binoculars, and we're out there, and he's sitting on the pier. So we know that was not how you do it. So a lot of training went into that rescue. We're blessed to have such a great training team and such a great administration that backs us and believes in us. And as I said, with all of those things came a rescue rather than a recovery. So thank you, citizens, for believing in us and for always making us feel welcome in this city, because that doesn't happen in every city, and it happens with all of you. So thank you for everything. I'm so proud of you. Thank you. I hope I thanked everybody.
And now the most exciting moment you've been waiting for. Presentation by Purvis Grain Company, independent auditors.
I'm sure this is the part that everybody really showed up for. So. First, let me take a moment to thank them for all of their heroics, all of our public servants who were recognized today for keeping us safe in this heroic effort, but daily as well. So hard to follow them. Pleased to say the audit report will be boring, which is really the type of audit report you want to hear about. So you don't want the excitement on that. This is the final step in concluding the audit process for September 30th of 25. So Mayor, council members, thank you for this opportunity to present this evening. Leadership of your audit team here today. My name is Tim Westgate, audit partner on the engagement. Also Matt Gano is with us, also a partner as well with Purvis Gray. This audit meets the requirements under Florida statutes, rules of the Florida Auditor General, government accounting and auditing standards. Federal and state granting agencies require this audit, as well as bond covenants and the municipal securities market. So this meets those audit requirements. Beyond that, I like to highlight that the City of St. Cloud chooses to go above and beyond just those standard requirements that are out there and chooses to participate in the GFOA's Certificate of Achievement and Excellence in Financial Reporting. That is an optional program in the spirit of transparency, additional disclosure. In the front of the packet that you received is last year's award. We anticipate this packet will receive the award as well. Because there's nothing exciting in the report, I'm just going to run through quick what the results of the audit are and the auditor's reports that are included in there. First section in there is on the auditor's opinion. That is the primary part that you will get the most attention from those regulatory bodies. It has reminders in there that management is responsible for the financial statements, management is responsible for internal control, and it gives the responsibilities of our responsibilities in performing the audit. Ultimately, what you want to hear, we issued a clean opinion, an unmodified opinion. That is the highest level of assurance you can have on these external financial statements. As part of our audit, we conducted the audit in accordance with the standards issued by the federal OMB, Office of Management and Budget, for the government auditing standards, has us look at internal control for the purpose of financial reporting. It would report to you material weaknesses, significant deficiencies, non-compliance that would be material to the financial statements. Pleased to say all of those reports are clean as well. So that is an effort that comes across the entire city, starting with the mayor, commission, and council members as well, leading that guidance. Other reports that are in the package in the compliance section, there's a report in there, 218-415, that is related to investment of public funds. There's also a management letter that is issued under rules of the Florida Auditor General that would talk about, if such things existed, deteriorating financial condition, financial emergencies, other items like that. Pleased as well, those are clean reports. Nothing rose to the level to be reported in those. As part of the city's participation in various federal grant programs, the city receives federal grants, and of course that comes with additional strings attached, known as those compliance requirements. And as part of the audit, there is an audit segment that's referred to often as the single audit that addresses those grant compliance. The program that was selected on the risk-based approach this year is the Public Safety Partnership and Community Policing Grants. And in the audit of those compliance requirements, pleased to say, clean opinion as well, also an unmodified opinion. So continue to say, good reports in that regard. This slide here talks about other audit matters. In your honorable realm as mayor and council members, there's other discussions that go on between the auditor and your role as those charged with governance. And some of those are just talking about changes in the financial statements. During this year, the new standard, GASB 101, was adopted related to compensated absences, and that is just a new approach nationwide. Everybody was required to adapt it. Just extra homework, extra effort that was put in by your finance team. Pleased to say that was appropriately adopted and put in place in that regard. Bottom bullet point on there, I do like to highlight as well. If there were significant difficulties encountered in performing our audit, it would be highlighted at this point in our discussion. pleased to say we get great cooperation from the city. So we'd like to take a moment to thank Veronica, all the city departments as well. It's not just finance. We do work across many departments of the city. I would, though, like to particularly thank Jeff and the finance team. They have to put up with us the most during the audit process. When we say, explain this, show us that, why did that happen, prove it, those questions over and over, we do get great cooperation through the process. So we're thankful for that. Last slide on here is still other audit matters. As the realm of our audit, we do talk about a lot of other things that don't rise to the level of being findings, written finding types things. So we do spend the time looking forward into next year. There's a new GASB statement coming out, GASB 103, that will have some changes in the financial reporting model, changes to your management discussion and analysis in this package. The budget reporting is going to change some. So we have those type of discussions. Pleased that your team is already looking forward, is already starting that process to avoid surprises. And then we did have some discussions on some opportunities for streamlining and making improvement to the grant reporting process and the tracking, the monitoring of grants, and just better options to continue with timely reporting with that. So that's an example of some of the other discussions that happen along the way. So with that, in the spirit of time, I will conclude with that. Again, thank you for the opportunity and invite any questions that you may have related to the audit.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert.
Yes, thank you very much, and you all do a great job. And thanks to Coop. There's three, you put on in that slideshow, there's three additional requirements next year. Will that make it easier or harder?
More complex to make those changes. It throws me off a little bit. One of the titles on them is Financial Reporting Model Improvements. Questionable what improvements mean, has a lot of definition. It will put more effort on your team to implement those. Ultimately should result in clear disclosure. After the first year of implementation, it should be pretty consistent after that. So first year will be hard.
Right.
After that, it should be pretty similar to what you're doing now.
So it's a rough road to start. Less is more to me,
Right.
and every time they add on something else, it's more work.
And they are,
It's
right.
more work for
It
our
is,
staff.
right.
So again, I appreciate our staff very much. They've been great, and I appreciate you. And I was just wondering the clarification of those three new rules by whoever, state,
Right.
federal, or whoever decides that we need to do that. So thank you very much
Right.
for
Yeah,
your
just,
hard work.
you know, along that perspective, exactly what you're saying, the GASB is who puts out those standards. In the first 50 or so years of their existence, they put out about 35 standards. In the last 15 years or so, they've put out, 50 or so. So it's-
I've seen them each
they're
year when
really-
you come
right.
here, so, yeah, so
Right, they're
I yield
amping it
back
up.
to you, Mayor. Thank you for letting me talk to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Any other council comments on that? All right, we're going to request for city council's acceptance on this. Do I take public comment on this, Dan?
Yes, you can, once you take a motion to accept.
All right,
council.
can I get a motion to accept the
Would be
financial
council-
report
from
from
the
Motion to
coun-
accept?
Yeah, that would be council action item number 1.
council action item number 1?
Motion to accept council action item number 1.
All right, anybody in the audience like to speak on this item? All right, and can I get a second?
Second.
Second, so we have we have a motion from Deputy Mayor Gilbert, second from Councilmember Urban. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Fletcher. Councilmember Paul.
Aye.
Councilmember Urban.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert.
Aye.
Mayor Robertson.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Have a
y'all.
great evening.
All right, let me flip through some of these here.
Mayor, I think you wanted to introduce.
I'm still, yep.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, before we move on to the agenda, so over the weekend, I was out there at our Soldier City Market, which now occurs on Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on the second and fourth Saturdays of the month. While I was out there, we had Austin Cobb. He's an Eagle Scout, right? And his dad were out there, and his brother, and so they were out there, and they were cleaning up those old cannons out front. They were washing those. They're going to be repainting those. So I'd like to go ahead and ask that Austin and his father James come up to the podium. Yeah. Yeah, here's Austin.
Hello, thank you for inviting me to come and speak. I appreciate the opportunity. So, my name is Austin Cobb. I'm currently a Life Scout of Troop 192. So, I'm here to kind of explain what my Eagle Scout project is. So, first of all, my Eagle Scout project is located at the Veterans Park on 1201 13th Street. For my Eagle Scout project, I am restoring the two M1 57mm anti-tank guns that are located at the park. This restoration will include cleaning, prepping, and repainting the guns, as well as replacing the tires and maybe some other miscellaneous items. I've just recently completed the workday where we clean the surface of the guns and remove the wheels. I have my next workday coming up soon where we will be priming the surface for painting. I have some pictures here if you all would like to look at them.
Absolutely.
You want us to put them up on the,
Yeah, sure, we love them on that, on Stacy's side, right?
they're over there.
Pass them to Stacy.
They used to be there.
So these photos display the condition, the before and
upside
after
down.
conditions of the anti-tank guns located at the park. So this is a front shot of one of the guns. As you can see, it is covered in lichen and flaking paint. And so that's kind of what we got rid of on the first workday. That's another angle from the back. As you can see, more lichen, more flaking paint. That is an image of the tires that are on the guns. As you can see, the tires and the rims themselves are not in very good condition. So that is going to be a major part of what I am replacing at the park. And this is an image of taken after the end of the first workday. As you can see, the lichen and the paint flakes have been taken off, and we have removed the tires, which I have taken for assessment to Gino Tires. And that is another image from the front, just showing the work that has been completed. So if those are all the images, I'd like to give thanks to some of the sponsors that enabled this project, such as Sherwin-Williams, United Rentals, Gino Truck Tire Sales, Dr. Phillips Charities, the VFW Post 3772, and American Legion Post 80, as well as the City of St. Cloud for allowing me to have this as my Eagle Scout project, and the Parks and Recreation Department for their cooperation and help for this project.
Very cool, Austin. Let's give him a round of applause. Yeah, everything you're doing, you know, I told you I was a Cub Scout and I was a Weeblo and I was a Boy Scout. I never made it to Eagle. So I commend you on that. And everything you were doing is what our community is all about. Everybody getting together, getting the businesses to come up and assist you in this project. And you're doing it for the betterment of the entire community, right there in Veterans Park, which is such a special place. And we're really highlighting that park here as a council. So we do appreciate you. And that's so cool, man. Thank you very much. Council, you have anything to say to our friend Austin here?
If I may, Mayor, just a second, your comments. We have a Place for Grace. We have Eagles come in and do projects there in restoration and beautification. But as a young man, you are exemplary to what young men should be. You are doing the right stuff. In this world we have today, to have folks like you doing it, I'm honored. I have 5 kids and 8 grandchildren, and I'm honored to be your friend, and I'm honored that you're doing what you do for the city of St. Cloud. You have so much success ahead of you, and God bless you.
Awesome. Councilmember Paul.
I want to say thank you for your service to the community and help beautify the Veterans Park. Thank you.
Yeah, Councilmember Urban.
It's amazing. Thank you so much. And it's people like you that make our city such a special place to be in. So thank you so much.
Yes, sir. Yep. Yeah, and thank you to your dad as well, James. So, yeah, and your brother was out there too as well, wasn't he? Yeah, so cool. All right, thank y'all.
Thank you so
Have a good
much.
evening.
Have a good night.
All right, next up, we have the consent agenda. The next portion of tonight's meeting is the consent agenda, which contains items that have been determined to be routine and non-controversial. If anyone in the audience wishes to address a particular item on the consent agenda, now is the opportunity for you to do so. Additionally, if staff or members of the city council wish to speak on a consent item, they have the same opportunity. And what's the pleasure of the council? Any items that we want to discuss, or can I get a motion?
Oh, I would just like to state on resolution number 1, Mayor, that I had a quasi ex parte meeting with these individuals, and I want to make that on public record, sir. And with that, I yield back.
Yep, I agree. I as well. And,
And for process perspective, you'll need to make that announcement when the quasi judicial items come up, which are later on in the agenda.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
not on this one right here.
Not on this one, right?
This was not, right? Okay. All right, and on resolution number 1, let me see. There's no item number 1. That's the number 3. Oh gosh, consent, sorry. You're right. Okay. All right, and we have some public comment. First up, we have, for consent item number 3, Charmaine Boust.
Just a little history before I let you know what I have to say here. I'm with the Women's Club of St. Cloud. The Women's Club was formed in 1910, organizing in a tent. That's when the city was so new, many citizens lived in tents because houses hadn't been built. For over 100 years, the Women's Club has had the objective to develop educational, civic, and social interest, and that continues today. My name is Charmaine Boust, a Women's Club member since 2005, a past president. I am here tonight to urge you not to approve proposed fees under 2026-053R. Our history has included the first library that started in a railroad depot, which is now the VFW. Until there was money raised by the Women's Club, we were able to build the first library here in the city. We raised the money to build the Women's Club, sidewalks, Veterans Park, were just a few of the projects of the Women's Club. And the Women's Club has been active in supporting the museum since 2001. It is our members who are the volunteers who keep that museum open 3 days a week. I don't know what it takes to make a difference, but from what I've seen here tonight, certainly the environment that we live in St. Cloud, I would like to think this is the way it is. There's been much said here tonight about the officers we have, the police we have, Coast Guard, and so forth. For the Women's Club, for us to be charged fees for use of a building by a nonprofit creates hardship for us to have fundraising. There is no precedent for this to have happened in our history. We are a 5013C, a not-for-profit organization. Our fundraising allows us to continue giving 2 college scholarships annually. to graduating seniors from 2 local high schools. Donations to St. Cloud Elementary Schools for their media centers, and donations to other charitable groups in St. Cloud. Once more, I am asking the council to withdraw consideration of these fees. Thank you, and thank you for your time and attention.
Yes, ma'am. Charmaine, can you please come back up here for a second? So this is the Hometown Heroes program. How does that apply to, I'm just curious.
Well, we have been told is that Parks and Recreation has been looking at the city buildings, and fees would be charged where they hadn't been charged before.
Okay, but I'm seeing this has to do with Hometown Heroes program. What does that have?
Well, I was looking at the one that is listed as,
It's amending and updating the Parks and Recreation fee schedule.
right, exactly.
Adds information about the costs associated with the Hometown Heroes program. So how's that with the Women's Club? Like, where does that impact the Women's Club?
well, I don't see the Hometown Heroes and what I'm looking for. Well, I would say, yes, it does apply to us. We're Hometown Heroes.
That has no, ma'am, that's an actual program.
Okay, that's all
How does
right.
that apply to the Women's Club?
I'm not sure that it does,
Okay.
because I did not see that here.
Okay,
All I see is that the fees are there from Parks and Recreation, and that was our objective from being here this evening.
yes, ma'am. Yeah, I don't think that applies to the,
Well, then I guess
Women's
I have
Club.
just said what needed to be said for when it does come up.
Okay, well, thank you, ma'am. Is that
I-
clear?
I was going to clarify that that's not on the agenda
Okay.
at this time. I think some of the confusion may be that recently staff was utilizing the existing contract with the Women's Club. There was some activity outside the terms of the agreement, and we did reflect a charge to use the facility outside the terms of their existing agreement. So that may be what it is, but we're also under direction by the city council to renegotiate all of our agreements with our users
Right.
that haven't been updated in some time, and we're also in the process of doing that also with the Women's Club. So there are several items right now going on with the Women's Club.
Right, but that has nothing to do with tonight.
No, except for the fact that.
This item right here is Hometown Heroes program, that specifically.
It's amending our fee schedule to add the hometown hero language.
Yeah.
And the rental rates are on our fee schedule.
And none of that impacts the Women's Club.
It's not a new change to the
Okay,
Women's Club.
that's what I make sure. So if, in the future, if there's a change, obviously that's where obviously your comments would apply to any changes when it comes to the Women's Club. Deputy Mayor.
Yeah, I'm with the TDC board too, and there's some marketing value put in there, but I'm clarify that this was our 100th year celebration, was it not?
We're over 100 years.
Right.
We were founded in 1910.
Okay. I do know that come to the Tourism Development Council that there was going to be a celebratory 100-year anniversary in 2026, but it's over 100 years. So I just wanted to be marked for the historians that this is a great club that's been around a lot longer than.
It has been.
And thank you for all you do. God bless you.
Thank you.
And I'm unaware of the exact changes that you're referring to, so we have not seen that on the agenda yet. So when we talk about it, we see it, we'll definitely, we'll speak to you about it. But I haven't received any phone calls or, from you or I don't.
Received phone calls from us?
No, ma'am.
We've been in
Oh, okay.
contact with Parks and
Well,
Recreation.
okay. Well, we're not gonna sit here and argue about that. We're sitting here in a seat down there.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, so if you're not here to talk about that, there's somebody else who wants to talk about consent item number 3. Give me a second. Sharon Bliss, would you like to speak about consent item number 3? About the Hometown Heroes?
Well, just tell them what it is.
No, well, you can talk about public comment. If they're talking about the Women's Club, that's during public comment. You can talk about it during that time. This is about the actual agenda item with Hometown Heroes program. Okay, so if you want to talk about the Women's Club, you can do it during public comment, which is coming up.
When that comes up.
Yes, ma'am, yeah. Because we do have to, you can only speak about the items on the agenda until it's public comment. Then you can talk about the stars in the sky and the birds and the bees and anything else you want to talk about. So it's anything under the sun. But right now, we have to stick to the actual agenda items. Anyone else want to speak on any of the items on the consent agenda? Okay, can I get a motion? Motion from Councilmember Urban.
Second.
Second, Councilmember Paul. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilmember Paul?
Aye.
Councilmember Urban?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert?
Aye.
Councilmember Fletcher? Mayor Robertson?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Yeah, and that is, that is protocol, that when we have agenda items, you have to stick to the actual agenda item and as it pertains. During public comment, you can talk about anything in the world. We can talk about roads, water, and we all have to do that up here as well. We need to kind of keep that in check. Next up, we do have the citizens forum. Any person who desires to comment on any item not on this agenda is provided this opportunity to address the city council. Each person is requested to complete a sign-in form to be presented to the presiding officer prior to or as soon as practical thereafter. The person addresses the council. Sharon, would you like to go ahead and speak first? Sharon Bliss. Yep, this is the citizens forum now. Yeah, you can talk about everything you want to talk about. Yeah.
Maybe you don't mean to talk about everything I want to talk about, but anyhow.
Well, you got 3 minutes to talk about everything.
Well, I won't take 3 minutes. Okay, I'm Sharon Bliss, current president of St. Cloud Women's Club Heritage Museum. And, well, I understand the need to review documents and contracts from 24 years ago, allowing only 2 meetings per month. I don't think it anticipated the city's growth and the Women's Club fundraising needs so rapidly, this growing environment and as the city evolves. For 116 years, the Women's Club has raised funds to support civic projects, educations, and other 501(c)(3) organizations, contributing nearly $100,000 to St. Cloud communities in the past 15 years. Limiting us to 2 meetings a month makes it difficult to plan fundraising efforts. As a nonprofit, nearly all our funds we raise go back into the community, and paying $300 for additional meetings would be a hardship. It would also limit small informal gatherings that allow our members to get together and discuss ideas while enjoying coffee, tea, and a light refreshment. This requires no city resources, but to help us stay connected, requires no city resources, but helps us stay connected and generate ideas. We ask your support so we can continue to preserve St. Cloud's history and serving the community. I want to thank you for your time and your consideration. But as a little side note, I also want to thank the city for recognizing Olive Horning 2 nights ago for all her time and effort in preserving the history of St. Cloud. She's a fabulous lady and a longtime member of our club.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yeah, all was amazing. A few years back, I guess, when you guys were going for a grant for digitizing the document, it was like 5 or 6 years ago. I wrote a letter of support for her in doing that. It was
She's
so
a
cool.
wonderful lady.
And you just gave me more information as to what I was looking for from Charmaine. You said $300 extra.
Yes, that's what we
I didn't
were-
know that. So
we
when
were
people
told-
give me dirty looks when I'm
Yeah.
just trying to get the
Well,
information.
yes, we were
It's like,
told
all right,
if
I'm
we-
just trying to understand what
Yeah,
we're talking about.
We were told if we were in the building for anything else, we would be charged $300 usage.
Okay.
And we just, it's just, we don't have the money because everything we bring in goes out with the exception of, whatever we need for office materials or something. So what comes in goes out faster than it comes in.
Yes,
So.
Yeah,
I'm just-
and we get a lot of information, or we will get more information on that.
Okay.
In fact, it was probably 35 minutes ago, I saw a letter from you folks, and I read the first 5 lines, but unfortunately, everybody was waiting for me in here, so I had to come in here.
Yeah, that
So
letter was
We'll
from-
get to that.
That letter was from me too.
Oh,
also.
was it? I didn't even get to your name, so yeah,
It
was
was
from you.
also from me.
Yeah.
But I appreciate your time and consideration, and please keep us in mind, because we really do love this city and want to do whatever we can to preserve its history.
Absolutely. Yes,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Thank you very much. Are we ready for Betty? Oh, that's not here. That's for down the way. Next up, we have,
Well, Mayor, you need to ask if anybody else here for citizens forum.
yeah, it's still citizens.
Okay, all right.
No, I'm still calling names.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
Yeah.
thought you were going to the next item. I apologize. I'll
That's
be
all right.
quiet.
Millen Robinson? Did I say that right? Milan, okay, sorry, Milan.
Hi, how are you guys? Good evening, Mayor and Council members. My name is Milan Robinson, and I'm a SWAT youth advocate. Thank you for your time tonight and for the work you've already done to promote healthier spaces in St. Cloud. As young people, we pay attention to what is normalized in our community when tobacco use is visible in parks, especially in family-centered spaces like St. Cloud Lakefront. It sends a message that tobacco use is normal and accepted. That matters because most tobacco users begin before the age of 18. Recently, SWAT students cleaned up Lakefront Park and collected hundreds of cigarette butts and vape products. Seeing the amount of litter where children play and families gather was discouraging, but it also motivated us to speak up. We appreciate the accordance that St. Cloud already has in place, and we recognize the progress. We are asking you to strengthen it by including the Lakefront Park so that all families can enjoy a cleaner and healthier environment. Kissimmee recently passed a tobacco-free park ordinance, and May residents were happy to see their cities prioritize health and cleanliness. St. Cloud has the chance to be a part of the same positive movement. We love our community and we want our parks to reflect the values of health, safety, and respect future generations. Thank you.
Very nice, Milan. Desiree Austin.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. My name is Desiree Austin, and I'm a member of SWAT, Students Working Against Tobacco. First, I want to thank you for your time tonight and for the work that you have already done to support healthier and public spaces in St. Cloud. We recognize that the city has already made progress with tobacco-free policies, and we truly appreciate those efforts. Tonight, we are simply asking you to strengthen that progress by including St. Cloud Lakefront in the audience. Recently, SWAT students participated in a cleanup at the Lakefront Park. During the cleanup, we collected hundreds of cigarette butts and vape-related litters. That experience showed us firsthand how much tobacco waste is affecting one of St. Cloud's most loved community spaces. Families come to the Lakefront Park to walk, exercise, fish, play, and spend time together. It should reflect the healthy and welcoming environment our community values. We've already seen positive momentum nearby. Kissimmee recently passed a tobacco-free parks ordinance, and community members responded very positively to it. St. Cloud now has an opportunity to join that movement and continue leading by example. Thank you again for your leadership in considering this important step forward. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am, thank you. City Attorney.
Yes, so Mayor, just to clarify, so the ordinance that was adopted by the city on the authority of the state legislature back in 2004 originally had an exception for the no smoking prohibition for the lakefront area. So if that's something the council would like to consider and move forward with, we certainly can work on that. It'd be a pretty easy change to the code.
Okay. We've got one more. Corbin Sophia Jones wants to speak about working against tobacco as well.
Guess they saved the best for last.
That's right.
Good evening, Mayor and Council members. My name is Corbin Sophia Jones, and I'm here representing SWAT in Osceola County. Thank you for taking the time to listen tonight, and thank you for the progress St. Cloud has already made toward healthier public spaces. We're asking you to strengthen the current ordinance by including St. Cloud Lakefront as a tobacco-free park. Recently, SWAT students conducted a cleanup at the Lakefront Park and collected hundreds of cigarette butts and vape litter in just a short amount of time. The amount of waste is concerning because cigarette butts are not harmless trash. They contain toxic chemicals that can pollute soil and water and harm wildlife. In addition, secondhand smoke and e-cigarette aerosol expose families and children to harmful substances in places meant for recreation and health. Tobacco-free parks help reduce litter, improve park cleanliness, protect public health, reduce youth exposure to tobacco use. This policy would benefit residents, visitors, and future generations. We also know these policies work. Kissimmee recently adopted a similar ordinance, and community support has been overwhelmingly positive. St. Cloud has already shown leadership in this area. We're simply asking you to take it to the next step and ensure that the Lakefront Park is fully protected as well. Thank you for your consideration.
All right, thank you, Corbin. Yeah, actually, I think that'd be a cool thing to, if we can get an ordinance put together.
Certainly. That's a direction of council, we certainly can bring it back.
Yep.
I agree. Mayor, I don't know where these young ladies are. Gosh, give them a hand. That some are used to do what they're doing
cool.
today. God bless you. That's awesome. That is so cool.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, we'll work on it and bring it back as soon as
Very cool.
possible.
Thank you. Next up, we have, is that Bridget Jackson? Did I spell it right? Did I say it right? Okay.
Good evening, Mayor, Councilwoman. Hey, good morning, good evening, all the things. All right, my name is Bridget Jackson, and I am the owner of Key Life Fitness here in St. Cloud, and I have a nonprofit called Key Life Cares. Key Life Cares is a local nonprofit focused on supporting wellness, women's health awareness, community connection, and providing people with access to health and wellness resources through events, education, and outreach initiatives. As a local business owner, I had the privilege of hosting the I'm in a 5K on May 2nd at the St. Cloud Lakefront Park. And I just want to say thank you to St. Cloud, the city of St. Cloud, for supporting the event. This year was our largest year yet. It's our third year doing the event. We had 415 runners and over 750 people in attendance at the event. 15 vendors and 15 sponsors, including Orlando Health, City of St. Cloud, Toho Water, KUA, HOKA, and many more. So beyond the numbers, it was more so of an impact for the community. We saw families come together, reconnect to resources, participate in vendors, be able to sponsor local businesses and vend with them. So it was just a privilege to have the event, and we look forward to continuing to partner with the city to bring more community events like so.
Yeah, I was hoping to be out there. I know Councilmember Paul was out there. I don't know if the rest of them were, but it didn't look like
Can't
you
run
were.
him. I know.
No, that's so cool. How many runners or walkers, whatever?
415.
415, very cool, all at the St. Cloud Lakefront.
Yes. Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thank you.
Yeah, Councilmember Paul?
Yes, I just want to say I did attend, and it was a beautiful event. This was my second time attending, and I was going to save it for the end, but I do want to add that Ms. Bridget did go through the whole process of providing every documentation to support this event. She even provided a event summary and also provided the receipts of the payment that was sent to her. She did everything perfect. I know this was the first event to show how the process was going to work, and we did have some challenges, but we got it through, and she provided everything. So I want to say thank you again for that. So
thank you. Thank you to you.
Who won the race?
His name was Fredison. Yeah, he's like the top marathon runner for Disney. So
Really cool. So these guys, I guess people run. They'll just see these 5Ks and they sign up.
Yes,
and
we had a couple of top runners from across Central Florida come and run the race, and he ran it in 17 minutes. So
Very cool.
yeah.
All right. Well, that's great. It brings other people to our community. It's good economic development. So
Yes. Thank you.
thank you very much. Anyone else in the audience? Yes, give her a round. Anyone else in the audience like to speak during the Citizens Forum? All right, with that, we will move on. We have public hearings. Would the clerk please read public hearing number 1?
Resolution number 2026-038R, a resolution of the City Council of the City of St. Cloud, Florida, amending resolution number 2025-098R, which adopts the fiscal year 2025-2026 budget for the City of St. Cloud, finding the city manager has certified their prior year fund balances and/or current revenues available in the budget for additional projects and programs and various funds not included in the original budget. requiring the budget increase to include said additional fundings in the various funds, making supplemental appropriations within the funds.
City Attorney?
Yeah, I just wanted, as we walk into the public hearings, I wanted to remind the applicants that there are only 4 council members present this evening. So in the event that an item gets a 2-2 vote, that's considered a denial. So the applicant would be given an opportunity, if they so wish, to continue their items when there's a full council present.
Okay, and they could ask to continue it
Yes,
even
and
if they see it's not going
Anytime
before a
they
vote?
can, anytime before
Okay.
a vote.
Okay.
Sorry, Jeff.
All right, resolution number 1. Coop? No, you're not. I'm sorry. Which one are we?
Yeah, we're right, you're on the right, the resolution on the budget.
Coop, why don't you move to the,
Get my glasses on here. As I say, it's a small podium for you, Coop.
I was told to go there.
I know you're bringing a lot of numbers to the table.
Sure.
Hold on, let me, okay, I found you.
Good evening, Jeff Cooper, Finance Director. This is Budget Amendment Number 3 of fiscal year 2025-2026. The city manager's certified funds are available to appropriate for these projects. Total of $3,005,421 in revenue from interfund transfer for the following projects. PW 2402, which is our downtown mixed-use development, that in the amount of $1,305,421. And ST 2605, that's the Mutter Road extension for $1.7 million. A total of $354,000 in revenue from prior year fund balance and $354,000 in expenditures for machinery and equipment for police vehicles for 6 new police officers to be funded in FY 26-27. This is police impact fees. This has been common practice over the past couple of years that we try to order the vehicles ahead of time, planning for delivery time, so we don't have new officers with no vehicles. A total of the $1.7 million in prior year fund balance to fund $1.7 million in interfund transfer for the aforementioned project ST 2605 Mutter Road Extension. This is funded with mobility impact fees. The aforementioned $1,305,421 in prior year fund balance to fund the same amount in interfund transfer for the downtown mixed-use project. This is the required assignment of the fiscal year in 2024-2025 year-end CRA fund balance, which has to be applied to a CRA project. That project now has about $5,050,000 in it. So we're well on our way to completing that project without the use of debt. And a total of $236,168 in prior year fund balance and the same amount in interfund transfers. This is the final entry for Stevens Plantation, which we're finally putting that to rest. And as you noticed during the audit presentation, it was not mentioned because it's not in there anymore for the first time in 20 years, or however long it's been, well, prior to my time. So we will be transferring these funds back to its original source, which is Fund 150, the St. Cloud OUC Interlocal. Those funds were originally transferred into the Stevens Plantation Fund to pay the taxes due at the time. So those funds will be transferred back to that fund, and we will utilize those funds as part of our FY 26-27 budget. And staff recommendation is approval of Resolution 2026-038R, and we're requesting City Council approval of Resolution 2026-038R. Questions?
Thank you, Coop. Both, can we go back a few slides? I'll tell you when to stop. Right there. That's one, the downtown mixed-use project. Go back one more, please. Mutter Road extension. Everything we're doing there is everything the citizens have asked. We want more roads, that's what that is. That provides better connectivity through our city, more east-west connections. Move one forward again, there you go, the downtown mixed use. Folks, if y'all saw on social media, you know, from the last CRA meeting, we had a presentation from the developers of the mixed-use project adjacent to City Hall. And, you know, we're gonna have a parking garage there. City Manager, how many units are gonna be in that parking garage? How many parking spaces?
Available to the city.
250.
What's that?
The total garage, I think, is going to be about 500 spaces, 250 of which are going to be dedicated to the city and to the general public.
Right, right. And that's where I just want to use this moment, since we're, you know, you're bringing this part up, that to go ahead and clear the record on exactly what that project is. You know, there's going to be 150 units in there. It's important to have the units living downtown to support the businesses in our community. If we want to continue to witness restaurants or some of our stores failing, then we do nothing. If you don't have people within a walking distance of these businesses, they will continue to fail. You know, it's important that we do this. And this is a $60 million project. Have we ever had a $60 million project in the city of St. Cloud, ever?
OUC's new building.
OUC, a government, right, right. They don't pay taxes, right? Okay, that's the whole point of this. We need commercial development. If we don't have commercial development, this city will fail. If we don't have commercial development, taxes will have to be raised in order to operate a city. You guys are the taxpayers, the citizens, you're the stakeholders. You know, unfortunately, you know, if we can either have the commercial pay for the operations of the city or the taxpayers. We want the commercial too. We want jobs. That's why we have a traffic situation as well. It's not just because we don't have enough roads. We don't have the jobs here. And so we're trying to accomplish that by creating commercial projects throughout our city. Councilmember Urban.
Thank you for saying that, Mayor. I think there's been a lot of misconceptions out there about this project, and I think it's also important to point out that that this is being funded by the CRA, which is a separate entity from the city, and the CRA's specific purpose is to redevelop properties to build the tax base for our city, and that's exactly what this project is doing. And just one more point as well, this parking garage, if the city were to build its own parking garage, we would pay double, probably triple to build our own. So this is really going to be a huge catalyst for our downtown, and I think great for the residents of St. Cloud.
Yes. And I just like addressing all concerns on this. You know, there was an article that was written by Growth Spotter that talked about low income and very low income. Well, what it said, I believe it's 50% have to be some rent-controlled rents, correct?
So they have 50% can be market rate, and then they
Yes.
have 12%, which will be at 30% of the medium income, 20% at 60,
Yeah.
18% at 80.
So the 20% of these units, that means 20% of those units, the developer can't charge them more than 60% of what they make a month. Well, nobody should be paying more than 60% of what they make per month for rent. Somebody's got to feed those kids. Somebody's got to pay the car bill, so, you know, the car payment, the power bill, the water bill, go out to eat. Then the next one's 80%, right?
So it may be easier if I say the number of units.
Sure.
So 18 units at the 30% average medium income, 30 units at 60%, 27 units at 80%, and then 75 units at 120%.
Right. And I believe this is not we're not, there are low-income people, high-income people, medium-income people. We're all the same. We're all people in our community. And this is a project that I believe allows for all types to live under one building here and enjoy what our downtown has to offer. We've got movie theaters, we've got restaurants, we've got retail, we've got our city hall, and you know, there's a lot. They can walk to Veterans Park for the markets or the Wednesday night markets. If we want to continue these activities in the city of St. Cloud, we have to help them. And our job is to promote the people to live in our downtown to support those businesses. And I guess that's all I have to say. I don't really go out on social media and talk about it much, but I will say what I have to say up here. Go ahead, Jeff, anything else?
No, sir, well said.
All right, thank you. Anyone in the audience like to speak on this item? Council? Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved, Councilmember Urban.
Second.
I think Deputy Mayor Gilbert,
It was
second.
close. I missed ball.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Urban?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert?
Aye.
Councilmember Fletcher? Councilmember Paul?
Aye.
Mayor Robertson?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Sorry you had to stand up there the whole time. Will the clerk please read item number 2?
Final public hearing for ordinance number 2026-06. An ordinance of the City Council of City of St. Cloud, Florida to annex into the City of St. Cloud approximately plus minus 743.53 acres identified as Whaley Plot. Project NAX 25-00020, generally located north of Lake Tohobalega, east of Osceola Road, south of Kissimmee Park Road, west of Lake Tohobalega Road, in accordance with the voluntary annexation provisions of Chapter 171.044 Florida statute.
Mayor, can I have the clerk read item 3 too, because it's the companion land use amendment?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I think you're gonna have to go to the main podium, because I don't think that
Yeah, the
mic's
sound's not working on that one. Will the clerk please read item number 3?
Public hearing and transmittal for ordinance number 2026-07. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of St. Cloud, Florida, adopting a large-scale comprehensive plan amendment pursuant to section 163.3184 Florida statutes, assigning a future land use designation of approximately plus minus 743.53 acres identified as Whaley Plat, project CPA 25-00011, generally located north of Lake Tohobalega, east of South Osceola Road, south of Kissimmee Park Road, and west of Lake Tohobalega Road, from MXD Mixed Use County to MIX Mixed Use City, providing for amending of the official future land use map of the comprehensive plan, filing the Planning Commission's recommendations, proof of publication, applicability effects, severability copies on file, and effective date.
You
Good
just bought a
evening.
car, Jeff.
Good evening, Jeffrey Ball, the Community Development Director. So what we have are 2 applications in front of you. One is the annexation and the other is the CPA. The developer's agreement was approved tonight under consent, so that's not under consideration for you. So it is annexation 25-00020 and CPA 25-00011. If you approve this, this will be transmitted up to the state for them to review. It'll come back to you all for the adoption hearing where you will hear the CPA and the zoning application at a later date. So this is, again, this is a annexation and land use change. There we go. So the background, this meets Florida statutes 171.044. It's contiguous and reasonable compact. It's adjacent to the city limits. It is located within a joint planning area boundary. It is approximately 743.53 acres. The density is anywhere between 5 to 25 dwelling units per acre. It is compatible with the surrounding area. It's smack dab in the middle of the joint planning area. The existing future land use is mixed use, which is in the county. The proposed future land use is mixed use with the city designation. The existing zoning, which is not under consideration tonight, but it's important to reference, it is an MXD in the county, and it's a mixed use in the city when it comes back for adoption. Facilities, there's no adverse impacts on city facilities. The existing county approvals reference concept plan 21-0008, which was done in October 2021. The preliminary subdivision plan in PS 22-00007. The PSP amendment in 23-0012. And the Phase 1 site development plan in SDP 22-00222. So I'm going to skip over that. So this is the existing future land use, and you can see by the blue, it is mixed use in the surrounding area as well. This is the existing zoning. It is mixed use as well. So staff recommendation is approval of ordinance number 2026-06 and 2026-07. The resolution was for the developers agreement, which is not under consideration. Planning Commission approval recommendation is approval of ordinance 2026-06 and 2026-07. So City Council requested action is approval of ordinance 2026-06 and approval to transmit ordinance 2026-07 of Florida Department of Commerce for the interagency review. So, Mr. Adams is here from the applicant side.
Not this one, no. That's the next one.
This is the next one, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Here, I'll go. So, Mr. Adams is here to answer any questions that you might have. I as well can answer any staff questions.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Appreciate you, sir. Would the applicant like to speak on this item?
Good evening, Mayor, council members, John Adams, RJWA Inc., 8 Broadway, Kissimmee, Florida, 34741. For the agent, for the applicant, some of the rest of our teams here as well. Be happy to answer any questions you all may have tonight. And we're in agreement with staff's report. And I do want to thank staff over many phone calls and emails and meetings over the past 2 months to get here tonight.
Very cool. Thank you, John. I have a question real quick. So this is to annex it in. You already have, this property already has entitlements to develop in the county.
Correct, yes.
How many units already in the county?
So there's an approved PS in the county for 2,818 units. And then there's a Phase 1A SDP, which is the engineering plans of one phase of, I think, roughly 9 phases that is already approved in the county as well. Those phases 1B, 2A, 2B, 2C, and 3 have actually already been submitted to the city for review of those engineering plans.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, and I just want to put that out there that, you know, this isn't just raw land that's just not, I mean, we can look at it and see it's cow pasture, it's a ranch, but it's got the entitlements, it has the rights to build it, and they can build it in the county as it stands, correct, Dan?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and council, if we don't annex it in, and Dan, correct me if I'm wrong, we don't get the impact fees and we don't get the tax base.
That's correct.
But we'll
And
still have to kind of serve it. It
and
will have to,
Under the JPA, if you don't annex it in, that the county gets to do all the approvals.
they will still approve it. Okay. All right, thank you. Anyone in the audience like to speak on this item? I wanted to make that clear, especially to, you know, we see it on social media, we see it at people at home, and they don't understand, and we get hit with, oh, you're approving thousands of units every time, and it's like, well, no, they have the approvals, and if we do not take them in, we lose a lot of money. And we'll go right back to the prior conversation I had. If the taxpayers want their taxes to go up, then we'll stop annexing properties, and then the taxes will go up. I mean, we can't really have our cake and eat it too on this, so. Any council comments?
I just want to say thank you for putting it out there on record, so.
We're gonna put it out there more and more, Councilmember. Deputy Mayor.
Is this the ex parte mentioned, Andy? too?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
wait.
Well, I just want to make sure I'm on record.
That's the word.
That's a cool word, and I want to use it as much as I can. So I just, so I know I met with them, so I yield back to you. That's what
Yeah,
I'm sure.
and I
Yes,
understand-
I did as well.
I understand that the applicant met with most of the council members and basically
Councilmember.
went over the presentation that they just said. Is that correct?
Yes, it's with staff and the applicant. Yeah, Councilmember Urban.
I was just gonna say that as well. I also met with the applicant and discussed what we had on the presentation tonight.
All right. Councilmember Paul, you too?
Yes,
We
I
were
did.
all there?
Yes,
Yeah,
I did.
okay.
Same presentation everybody else got.
I believe so. All right, any other council comments? Anyone in the audience like to speak on this item? Can I get a motion?
So you got 2 items you wanted to.
Yes, can I get a motion on item number 2?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved from Councilmember Paul.
Second.
Second from Councilmember Urban. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Deputy Mayor Gilbert,
Aye.
Councilmember Fletcher, Councilmember Paul,
Aye.
Councilmember Urban,
Aye.
Mayor Robertson.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you. And will the clerk please read item number 3?
I think
Excuse
she already
I'm sorry,
read
we
it.
read it. Can I get a
She's
motion
doing
on number 3? Yep, sorry.
Motion to approve.
Motion approved, Councilmember Paul.
Second.
Second from Councilmember Urban. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Fletcher, Councilmember Paul,
Aye.
Councilmember Urban,
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert,
Aye.
Mayor Robertson.
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you, appreciate you. And also, I believe that's gonna have a lagoon that's gonna be open to the public. That's gonna be a really good, interesting thing. I think they've got one up there in Lake Nona already. Have they built one?
It wasn't in Lake Nona.
Where was there one?
Wesley Chapel.
Wesley
uh,
Chapel.
Yeah,
I know they've developed them in other areas, so that's cool. All right, will the clerk please read item number 4?
Final public hearing for ordinance number 2026-10. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of St. Cloud, Florida to annex into the City of St. Cloud approximately plus minus 9.75 acres identified as an Narcousie Starline Project, ANX 26-00001, generally located north of J Street, east of Twisted Branch Lane, south of Lillian Black Road, and west of South Narcousie Road, in accordance with the voluntary annexation provisions of Chapter 171.044 Florida statute.
And will the clerk please read item number 5 and item number 6?
Final public hearing for ordinance number 2026-11. An ordinance of the City Council of the City of St. Cloud, Florida, assigning a future land use designation approximately plus minus 9.75 acres identified as an Narcousie and Starline Project, CPA 26-00001, generally located north of J Street, east of Twisted Branch Lane, south of Lillian Black Road, west of South Narcousie Road, from LDR, Low Density Residential County, to COM Commercial City, providing for amending of the official future land use map of the comprehensive plan, filing the Planning Commission's recommendations, proof of publication, applicability, effect, severability, copies on file, and effective date. Final public hearing for ordinance number 2026-12, an ordinance of the City Council of the City of St. Cloud, Florida, providing a zoning amendment of the zoning map of the Land Development Code of the City of St. Cloud, Florida, specifically changing the zoning designation of approximately plus minus 9.79 acres identified as an Narcousie Starline Project, ZMA 26-00001, from AC Agricultural Conservation to R2 Rural Development County, to HB Highway Business City, generally located north of J Street, east of Twisted Branch Lane, south of Lillian Black Road, and west of South Narcousie Road, providing that for entering the designation of the official zoning map, finding the Planning Commission's recommendations, proof of publication, severability, effective date.
All right, Jeff.
Good evening, Jeffrey Ball, Community Development Director. Here tonight are 3 companion applications. We have annexation 26-0001, CPA 26-0001, and ZMA 26-0001. This is a voluntary annexation, comprehensive plan amendment, and zoning map amendment. So the background that this meets Florida Statutes 171.044. It is contiguous and reasonably compact. It's adjacent to the existing city limits. It is located within the joint planning area. Approximate acreage of the property is 9.79. It is compatible with the surrounding area. The existing future land use is low-density residential, which is in the county. The proposed future land use is commercial. The existing zoning is AC, which is agriculture and conservation, and R2, which is a rural development, single-family zoning district. The proposed zoning is highway business. The facilities, there's no adverse impacts on city facilities. So this is the eastern section of the site is physically separated along Narcousie Road by the abandoned railroad. Historically part of the St. Cloud Sugar Belt Railway. The railroad track was abandoned in 1942 and the tracks were removed. Site is being considered as a unified parcel for development. So in our last city council meeting, there was some discussion on restricting the uses. So staff has prepared and it's in the packet a restrictive covenant. And so what the restrictive covenant prohibits is, well, the conditional uses, so it is requiring that convenience stores and gasoline pumps require conditional use, and conditional uses requires city council approval with a site plan. The prohibited uses, which means that they could not do that regardless, is automotive body work and painting, frame repair, minor mechanical repair, again, major mechanical repair, quick wash, sales and rental, service station, tire repair and replacement, window tinting, and then many warehouse and storage facilities, along with towing and wrecker services. So this is a conceptual site plan that was provided to us. By no means is the applicant tied to this plan, but, you know, this is, you know, what he intends on doing it with that. So I just want to add a caveat that it still has to meet the Land Development Code regulations and all the regulatory agency requirements as far as permitting with South Florida Water Management District and all the other agencies. So this is the existing future land use. You can see by the yellow, it's a low-density residential classification. It is on the west side of Narcousie and Starline. This is the zoning map, which shows both AC and R2 zoning. So staff recommendation is approval of ordinance 2026-10, 2026-11, and 2026-12. Planning Commission recommendation was approval of ordinance 2026-10, 2026-11, and 2026-12. City Council continued this at the last meeting in April. So staff is requesting approval of ordinance 2026-10, 2026-11, and 2026-12. So the applicant is here to answer any questions. I am available to answer any questions that you may have. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir. Thank you, Jeffrey. Would the applicant like to speak on this item?
Yes, good evening, Mayor, council members. Chris Blurton with Interplan LLC, representing the applicant, 220 East Central Parkway, Altamont Springs, Florida. Last time I was here before you representing this project, I think we started off the discussion with a discussion of the high-quality development that the city would be looking for on this site, in addition to meeting the requirements of the Narcousie Road Overlay District, which we gladly accept and encourage as part of this development. However, as I believe a member of the public got up to speak and discuss some of the specific uses that the public would not want to be seen here, more automotive-centric uses and large, you know, big box self-storage facilities. I believe the city council, also some of the members agreed that, you know, you've got enough self-storage facilities here, you've got enough car washes. So I requested a continuance, went back to the developer and discussed this with them. There was a little bit of a hard discussion. Sometimes the developers feel like you're picking their pocket. You start talking about potential uses you're taking out of the potential mix. However, with working with staff, working with the developer, we've come up with these conditional, or the uses that would be restricted from the normal highway business zoning categories. Again, as staff mentioned, car washes, self-storage, most of the automotive-centric uses like tire shops and car tinting facilities such as those. So we hope this meets with the city's vision for this Narcousie Road Overlay District and the corridor of Narcousie Road. And we look forward to bringing some high-quality development to the city and the residents. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Yeah, and for all of our citizens that are paying attention to this, we hear what you don't want anymore, the more mini storage, more car washes, you know, and that's what this is. That's why last meeting, you know, we obviously wanted those prohibited uses added to that. Any council comments for the applicant? We have Miss Betty Dempke here in the audience that would love to come up and speak with us. I think she just likes seeing us. Take your time.
I'm one of your senior citizens. Good evening, everybody. Before we address this issue, which not much to address, thankfully, Michael McDonald and the amazing rescue, I just want to let you know he is on my parade committee, does an awesome job. So if you fall off of your float, he will be there to rescue you.
Yes. Yeah, he's always riding his bike right next to us.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
amazing.
he and his crew, they're amazing. But anyway, we're very, very grateful for the work that's been put into this, and the things that we were concerned about have been addressed, and if these are approved, these restrictions are approved and stay with, I guess, the deed, the title, not where we have to come back if a new developer comes in, so it's permanent. And we really appreciate your company everyone working. So really, there's not much else to say. The only thing is, I'd like to address if they are considering a service station, a gas station, it'd be one of the more where the parking is his pumps are in the rear. And I've seen several in various locations around the country that were done very well and actually fit into a residential community, not just another 8 pumps out front type thing. But thank you for working with us and for your consideration of what we do and do not need.
Yes, ma'am. Betty, how many years have you lived in this community? Since the late 70s?
42.
Huh, 42?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you continue.
Half of my life.
I want to applaud you, all right? Obviously, you and I, we speak a lot about different issues in the community. But everything that affects that whole Narcoossee corridor, you reach out, you're involved, and you don't just go out there and complain about it. You say, we need a better project. And you were at the last meeting, you talked spoke with the developer, and y'all worked it out. I assume you spoke during this past month, and here we are. That's what it takes, is the community that, if in order for us to get it right, we need the community to address those concerns as well and get involved. So, thank you.
Well, thank you. And if you remember, those few of you were here, Jen, you were here, when Fred and I started the Narcoossee overlay. It was to simplify this type of process, have a standard that developers knew going in, this is what we're looking for, and to retain our community. You're out there and preserve what we have, and to work with the developers before it comes in here and you have 25 people saying the same thing over and over. Just somebody representing, if it's not me, somebody else saying, this is what we've all been discussing. So I hope it works.
Yeah, and that's another reason why this is being annexed into the city. It's going to be commercial. That means we get a higher tax base. It's not going to be more homes. It's not going to be townhomes, which is, if it was left in the county, that's what it would have been.
Right.
So.
How well we know.
Right, and that's what we want to do. We want to make sure that we protect the future of our community with, if a project's going to be built, we want to make sure that we have our input in it, that the people in our community have the input in it, so.
And that we could get quality commercial and hopefully more high-end professional, to support the professionals that live here so they don't have to drive to Orlando or Winter Park or wherever, so.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, appreciate you. Council comments. Would anyone else in the audience like to speak on this item? Yes, sir.
Thank you for seeing me, Council. My name is Jonathan Randolph. I live at 607 California. I just had a couple comments about this project coming in. Forgive me for not knowing how the thing works. This is my first time at the council meeting. My son goes to a homeschool co-op at the Chisholm Park, which is about 1,000 feet from this location. He goes there. He goes there 3 days a week, and he does his homeschool studies there with other children his age. In that same park, we see several animals who you don't see very often. You see wild turkeys, you see deer, you see fox squirrels, not gray squirrels, but fox squirrels. And 700 feet from the location that's going up, 700 feet, there is a bald eagle nest. There is, this area right here is currently undeveloped, and I understand you're saying that the county is looking to develop for residential, but it has failed to do so up to this point. I am just here to say I would like to discourage a commercial parking lot going there, taking away the Eagles hunting area, taking away the free roam area for the turkeys and the other animals to call this area home. If you have any questions, you're welcome to, but that's the maximum of my comments.
Yes, sir, thank you. Do we rent the park out for a homeschool group, for a school? What are we doing at Chisholm Park?
I'm assuming he means one of the houses?
There's a co-op that meets at the location. It's just a bunch of homeschool kids that get together 3 days a week, and they do school on the picnic tables.
Okay, now I'm understanding better. Okay, that's not their physical address.
No, we
Okay.
are all.
'Cause you said they were located there,
We're
so
all,
I didn't
we're all
realize we rented out the park.
officially classified as homeschoolers, but there are teachers and there are people who go there, and we all come together and have group activities. We're having like a school-like setting, but with a homeschool background.
Okay, and I believe this parcel is north of the subdivision. That's in between the park and the
The Chisholm
subdivision.
Park is 1,000 feet south.
Right, and there's a subdivision in between?
That
So
is
there's already a
correct.
developed
But
subdivision?
like I say, the animals do traverse between that area because, I
Yes.
apologize, because it is low density. And I have seen them personally traveling between that neighborhood. There's also a lake on the, you'll see that it connects directly with a wooded area to that location. Like there's a natural corridor between a house, I forget the name of the house, where the road turns. And there's also and then there's a wooded corridor that connects to that property in question.
Okay. Yeah, and as I said before, that if we don't annex this in, the property owners have rights. And so if they're going to the county and they want to develop the property, they want to sell it for development, and the county tells them, we want them to do residential, they don't want to do residential. If the developer doesn't want to do residential, we definitely don't need more residential. We've got plenty of that. So they contacted the city of St. Cloud and they want to do commercial. So we can't tell them they can't develop, but others can.
Am I allowed to respond to what you're saying?
Yes, sir, absolutely.
Okay. You're saying that they'll be allowed to do residential, correct? That the
Well, that's
county
in the
would-
county.
The county allows it.
Yeah,
but it
we're
has
not,
yet to
we're not
be-
even talking about residential in the city
It
of St.
would,
Cloud, that property.
I understand what you're saying, which means they're allowed to do it. They've been allowed to do it for a while now. They're looking to put a commercial, which is guaranteed to go in there. I would also like to point out that 2,000 to 2,500 feet north, there is plenty of commercial zones that are ready to be developed in the city of Narcoossee. Particularly at, I'm so sorry, Yates and Jones. There's a bunch of empty land parcels up there that are ripe for development, that don't have the same natural impact that I was talking about.
Yes, sir, and I don't know that they own that property.
Oh, no, they don't.
But they have the rights to their property.
I understand.
And they have the right to develop their property.
Mhm.
Our job is to ensure that it's developed properly and to the best use of the city of St. Cloud. That's all we can ask for, and, you know, that's all we can hope for. So if it's gonna be developed in the county, and if it moves forward and gets sold for development for, say, townhomes or apartments, I don't think that's what the citizens of St. Cloud want, even though it's getting developed into the county that way, if they get the approvals in that direction. I would rather it annex in the city of St. Cloud and get commercial zoning on it, so we get a higher tax base, so the citizens don't have to pay higher taxes. I care about the citizens and their bank account, so.
Thank you for the
sir.
council's time.
Yes, sir, I appreciate you. All right, any other council comments? Anyone else in the public like to speak on this item? Will the clerk, do I have a motion on this?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved, Councilmember Urban.
Second.
Second, Councilmember Paul. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Paul?
Aye.
Councilmember Urban?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert?
Aye.
Councilmember Fletcher? Mayor Robertson?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you. And will the clerk please read item number 5?
Excuse me. We need a
Right.
motion.
Am I right? Oh, I'm sorry, number 6. Is that, no, that was
We
number
need a motion
4?
On 11
Five.
and 12. Yeah.
Yeah, but I said 5.
Right, we need
We
a
already
motion on
read
the
it,
other two items.
Oh, you don't have to read it, I'm sorry. Can I get a motion? It's for these
Yes.
folks, I'm sorry. Can I get a motion on item number 5?
Motion.
Motion from Deputy Mayor Gilbert.
Second.
Second, Councilmember Paul. Will the clerk please call the roll? Now it's you.
Councilmember Urban?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert?
Aye.
Councilmember Fletcher? Councilmember Paul?
Aye.
Mayor Robertson?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
And can I get a motion, item number 6?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved, Councilmember Urban.
Second.
Second, Councilmember Paul. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Deputy Mayor Gilbert?
Aye.
Councilmember Fletcher? Councilmember Paul?
Aye.
Councilmember Urban?
Aye.
Mayor Robertson?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Thank you. And will the clerk please read item number 7?
Final public hearing for ordinance number 2026-23. An ordinance of the City Council of City of St. Cloud, Florida, amending St. Cloud City Code, Chapter 8 Animals, Section 8-7, exemption for non-for-profit youth and special needs adult organizations, providing for severability, conflict codification, publication, and effective date.
Good evening again, Jeffrey Ball, Community Development Director. Before you is a code amendment for the 4-H exemption. At the City Council meeting on February 12th, City Council directed staff to amend Section 8-7 of the City Code. 8-7 establish exemptions to Chapter 8 Animals of the City Code. Exemptions must still follow restrictions set forth in 8-6. So the proposed language, and you can see from the underlying, the proposed amendment is notwithstanding the foregoing at the time of annexation of property qualified for and received a valid 4-H or Future Farmers of America exemption under the Osceola County Code, the property shall be considered nonconforming and shall be exempt from the provisions of Section 8-6. The nonconforming status as granted here under shall be deemed abandoned of no effect if, one, at least one resident of the property has not participated in a 4-H or FFA program for a period of 2 consecutive years, or the owners or owner of the property at the time of annexation into the city sells or leases the property and no longer resides thereon. So staff recommendation is approval of ordinance 2026-23. Planning Commission on 4/21/26 was approval of ordinance 2026-23. City Council requested action is approval of ordinance 2026-23. So that concludes staff's presentation. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you.
Jeff, I didn't hear the word chicken in there anywhere.
No, sir, you will not. This has nothing to do with chickens. This is just for the exemption to allow for 4-H members and FFA.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. All right, would anyone in the audience like to speak on this item? Council comments? Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved. Councilmember Paul.
Second.
Second, Deputy Mayor Gilbert. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Fletcher? Councilmember Paul?
Aye.
Councilmember Urban?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert?
Aye.
Mayor Robertson?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
On to council action. We already did council action. There's only one item. Next up, first readings and introduction. Next item's on the agenda for ordinances before the council for first reading and introduction for the sole purpose of council authorizing the publication of the ordinance for a final hearing. The council will not take final action on the items tonight. Full presentations and public input on the ordinances will occur at the final hearing at which the council will consider final action. Will the clerk please read first reading, item number 2, item number 2.
First reading introduction for ordinance number 2026-26, an ordinance of the City Council of City of St. Cloud, amending Chapter 38, Streets, Sidewalks, and Other Public Places to create a new Section 38-6, permit required for usage of public property for compensation and consideration, providing for conflict, severability, administrative correction, codification, publication, effective date.
Up, and can I get a motion on that?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved, Councilmember Urban. I think I have a second from,
Second.
second, Councilmember Paul. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Paul?
Aye.
Councilmember Urban?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert?
Aye.
Councilmember Fletcher? Mayor Robertson?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
Will the clerk please read item number 3?
First reading introduction for ordinance number 2026-27, an ordinance of the City Council of City of St. Cloud, Florida, amending Chapter 3, Performance and Citing Standards, Article 14, Use Regulations, and Section 3.14.5, Alcoholic Beverage Establishments, providing for conflict, severability, administrative correction, codification, and publication and effective date.
Can I get a motion?
Motion to approve.
Motion approved, Councilmember Paul.
Second.
Second, Councilmember Urban. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Urban?
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Gilbert?
Aye.
Councilmember Fletcher? Councilmember Paul?
Aye.
Mayor Robertson?
Aye.
Motion carries 4-0.
City Attorney.
I do not have anything, Mr. Mayor, thank you.
Thank you, sir. City Manager.
I have a few items, thank you. First, I wanted to inform the council, we have hired quite a few public safety staff in the past few years, thanks to the council's support. And as a result, I'm needing to move forward and get them a HR position that's going to be a business partner to public safety and will work in both police, fire, and HR to support the departments. So thank you for the continuous support that you've made to public safety that caused this need. You may have noticed that our communications staff did not come to take the picture earlier today, and that's because they went in to the Florida Municipal Communications Association to receive 2 outstanding awards. First, for the Cloudcast podcast. This is the second year that we won. And also for our comprehensive marketing plan for the 4th at the lake last year. So congratulations to our communications team. And last, I just wanted to thank OUC for having the city come and visit the power plant this past month. I learned a lot. I've never been in such an industrial facility like that. And it was really eye-opening to see what they're doing for our residents to ensure that we're having the quality service without the interruptions. And also, I just want to also thank them for the power plant cleanup site. As anyone can drive by, it looks amazing. Originally, the budget was $6.5 million for that. OUC gave us an additional $2 million, and the project came in right under that. So we're fingers crossed that through the monitoring period, there's no additional changes, but it was right on budget. So that's it. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And Councilmember Paul.
Yes, I have a couple things. I want to say first, thank you to the Public Works Director, Kevin. I've had a few complaints from residents, and I did send an email up to our city manager, Veronica, and him, and he addressed them quickly, and the residents were happy about it. So I want to say thank you again for doing that. And then my second comment is, it's regarding the Walker property. I know we've had discussion before, but if there's ever opportunity where that project does not move forward, I would ask that we consider looking at it for maybe purchase and do something useful for the community, so.
Yes, ma'am.
That's it.
All right. And so you're saying add it to Chisholm Park?
Yes.
Okay. Councilmember Urban.
Just a couple of things. I like that idea a lot. Maybe we can partner with the county I know they've been asking us to add some ball fields, so that would be a location that we could possibly look at. I know we had our first reading tonight on the alcohol ordinance, and I've been talking with multiple business owners throughout our downtown area. I know we had a workshop on this. I'm just a little concerned about that 12 a.m. cutoff that we have, both from an enforcement perspective on the city's end, and I'm just not a fan of government telling private businesses that they have to close, certain, So just discussion, something to think about as we get to the second reading. That's just I love everything else in the ordinance. I think it cleans up a lot, but I just have some concerns over that. And then last, I was just going to see if, as we approach the 250th birthday of what I believe is the greatest nation on earth, America, I was going to see if we can get maybe some America 250 banners or flags for Veterans Park or City Hall.
I think we got those. Somebody put some flags, I don't know.
So on the stage, there are I don't know what the correct term is, but they're like half moon. I think we spoke earlier, and I think he's looking for something a little bit more than that.
Just, I think we have a great American city, a lot of history here in the 250 years of America, and to celebrate that. So just wanted the council to consider that as well.
I agree. Is that something you want to give the city manager some ideas on what kind of flags, or
Yeah, I could
are they,
discuss
are
it.
they a certain flag that they're producing for?
I mean, even.
Saying like America's 250?
Yeah, even like a banner on City Hall or something, just, I know like the chamber has something similar like that, just to
Okay.
commemorate the 250th anniversary.
I love the idea. We'll see what our options are, and move forward.
Love it.
Yep, that's all I have.
All right. Yeah, Deputy Mayor Gilbert.
That's called bunting.
Yep, that's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Mr. Event Guy.
I'm sorry. You know, I don't get much a chance to talk to council, so I just want to give a brief update of what's been going on as your representative here for Metro Plan and the Transportation Disadvantage Board. We met Wednesday with Metro Plan, and everything's going really well. And I gave you a couple brochures, one about air development and the other about bicycles and accidents. So I would like to tell you that we're working on a Slow Your Roll program that I started with Metro Plan, and we're going to break that out for the citizens. We also have a safety course for e-bikes. There's 700 folks that are enrolled. Celebration is the only Osceola County one right now, but we plan to bring that to all of Osceola County and the St. Cloud. And it's a class in safety for e-bikes and bikes, and then what it does, it lowers the insurance for the family. So we are working on it. The bill has been passed. The statistics are absolutely crazy. I don't know if anybody's experienced it. I've experienced them going through on 13th Street and 10th Street and red lights and cutting across people. So it's never a problem until it's a problem, but we're trying to address that, Council. Secondly, I'm the chairman of the Board of Transportation Disadvantage Board, and we had some great meetings today. The board met today, and we talked about new technology for our disadvantaged people, and that is within callbacks, within apps, within on the internet, and also phone messages with training to help the disadvantaged make these appointments. Because we had, out of 679,000 riders last year in the 3 different counties, there was 48,000 no-shows. That equated to $2.8 million. Although it doesn't sound like a lot, it is a lot. And when the $2.8 million was the billable hours, and when I was told that it didn't cost us anything, it does cost you. It costs you time, costs you money, costs you vehicles, costs everything. So I promise you, thank you for allowing me to be on that one board. It gave me to the next board, and we're working on better things for the disadvantaged folks here in Seminole, Osceola, and Orange County is what we cover with Metro Plan, Mayor and Council. On Tuesday, I went to the cannery for a Lynx meeting with the vendors. I thought this was a great economic development process they did. They brought in the vendors, and Lynx came in and talked to them about how they could be vendors for Lynx, be it mechanical, diesel, transportation needs, subcontracting needs. We had over 40 members there that have businesses in St. Cloud. So if we can use those as a subcontractor for Lynx, I think that's good economic development. So that happened on Tuesday. I thought that was a great job. I went to the Stafford plant with you. That was cool. That was like the coolest thing ever. You turn on your light at home and you go, wow, that's cool. You don't know how it happened. We all just toured how that happens. And the difference between natural gas and coal and wind, and they're doing a great job. And for us, we as keep up to the city as its growth, they have to keep up with the growth too as the same. So I was so glad to share those moments with you and look at that plant and see what they're doing. But Veronica didn't tell you, and it was cool because I met with the CEO and I was walking there, and they had allotted $6.5 million for that cleanup over there. I don't know how it happened, but she got 2 extra mil out of it, and we didn't have to pay a penny for it. So, Veronica, thank you for doing that. The CEO came, man, she's arguing with me until I guess whatever happened, it worked. So
I pushed hard.
Again, there's arguabilities on both sides of timing and expedition and what it was then until what it was done. But it's done now. It's great now. We're going to be able to utilize that for future projects here in the city of St. Cloud. So I think that's great. Now, I was so excited. I was like Kim and Kensler going there and seeing all that, the operations center, how they work things. And thank you for allowing me to share that with you. Saturday, I'll be at the BMX at 8:15 with other councils, and we'll be going for the national. They have a national BMX there. I have to tell you that advanced air mobility is coming to town, and I was with MetroPlan, and what that means is, it's just what it says, you're gonna have hovers that are gonna park in your driveway, you're gonna drive up, and you're gonna fly to your destination, you come down. There'll be, vehicles, two-seaters, four-seaters, autonomous vehicles, and they'll be guided by GPS, and it's coming. One thing that's cool about it is the FAA and FDOT have designated Florida as their training and testing stations. So when we go out to those stations, I'll be inviting all council to go there to see how they're doing it. We're working right now with FAA to find out what paths are, how people travel east, north, south, and west. If it's 200, 300, 400, 500, but this is happening, and I always refer it back to the Jetsons. I know some of you guys aren't old like me, but that's what it's seriously gonna happen. Now, what that does for us, it's gonna be affordable because the car manufacturers will make these hovers. And also what it will do is it'll save money on streets and roads. If you think about how much we're putting in that, and as you know, land is very expensive, and they don't make more dirt except you're in Hong Kong where they put sand in, and next week you're not at beachside, you're 2 weeks in, so I'll keep addressing it on that. And folks say something, but I don't know if anybody knows this, but in 1914, the first commercial flight was here in Florida. And you look back, why? Well, Tampa, the only way to get to St. Pete was a 4-hour train ride or a 2.5-hour bus ride. The first commercial plane was from Tampa to St. Pete. So we are ahead of the avionics, and we are just the state that does these kind of things. So hold your breath, put your seatbelts on, it will happen. Maybe not my time, I think so, but definitely in your time and our children's time. So I think that's a great thing for the state of Florida to pick up. And someone says, well, why do we do that? So then we look at technology, and we have technology everywhere. This cell phone right here, it was patented in 1942. And the big companies, Ma Bell and all that, stuffed it down, and didn't want to do it. The lady that did it gave all her patents to the United States of America because she loved the country so much. So if you don't think the cell phones work, it took a little while, but they will be self-passenger flights as in cars. So I'd like to thank the council for allowing me to be in this group with the avionics and with the MetroPlan, and that's my report. I'm sorry that I'm elongated, but I don't get to talk to you guys very much of what we do. But I know you all have a lot going on. We do too, but I'm so proud to be a part of this council. Thank you, Mayor.
Very cool. So are they talking about these vehicles, like you said, in every side driveway, or is this gonna be like a centralized location in the city where people can go, and then that airplane or whatever that vehicle will take them wherever they need to go?
Great question, Mayor. Right now, the MCO and the city airport have designated spaces for these heliports, and that's what we're doing, and we're doing safety zones now, but it will first be a heliport area. You'll take your car to the heliport and you'll take that. But in time, these vehicles will be able to come to your driveway because they will be the size of a car, and with GPS, with the autonomous driving, it will go from driveway to driveway, and it will map out how you get there. Now, that's not the first part, but that's a great question. Right now, we got kind of like heliports that we're working on to test all those, and I'll bring you out there. But the game plan is every family to have one of these and be just as affordable as anything else, and to be safer, and also to take away the highways and byways of this country so we can continue to build in these areas.
Would these drive like a car down the road and then take off at a safe location?
At this time, they will not, Mayor. They will be hovers. They will come up in the air and then go to their destination. If you've seen them, I know, it's jets and stuff.
I know, I'm thinking about power lines all over our city. I don't know how that.
Again, if you look at satellites, you look at GPS, you look at autonomous vehicles. I have one warehouse by Waymo, and I was there the other day, and there's 15 Waymos just pulling out and picking up people and going. So it's here. Yeah. It really is. And I've asked the board also to look into Waymos for the transportation disadvantage because of the cost of personnel and maintenance. So I understand how it's going to be done, but with technology so advanced right now, I truly believe that I thought it'd be a little longer in the next 5 or 10 years. folks will have one in their driveway. I don't know, that's just a Ken Gilbert thing, but it's really, really cool, and it's happening. Regardless, and Florida is the main spot for the development of this.
That's very cool. Yeah, I got invited to something at MCO, I think it was,
Did-
and I haven't gone to it, but
Right.
I think it was the other day.
Yeah.
And they showed a picture of this thing, and I look forward to seeing how that works in, in the grid.
Yes.
So,
Thank you.
yes, sir, thank you. Is that all you had, Deputy Mayor?
Yes, sir, I yield back, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir. Okay. I'll go ahead and start talking about, I think I said it earlier, Soldier City Market is now gonna be second and fourth Saturdays of every month from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Vendors, veteran resources, food truck items. I know it's gonna be summertime, so it's gonna still slow down a little bit, but, once we do wanna continue a good thing and what's good for the community. So, and what's awesome is for the past 6-7 months, we have activated Veterans Park every weekend. But about a month ago, we started to every other week, so every other weekend. While we're talking about parks, Chisholm Park, obviously, we've got a gate out there, and I've talked about this in the past, and I just want to have discussion about it. There's a way. Before I got on council, we had the duck hunters and people that fish. They contacted me and said, hey, we can't even go out there and duck hunt or fish because the gate doesn't open up until the sun comes up. And the gate closes before the sun goes down. So, or as the sun's going down. So that keeps those folks from being able to enjoy the lake. So I don't know if there was a way that maybe we can move the gate or figure something out to allow it to happen. I got a phone call from somebody who, he got a ticket because he was parking there. He said, I have no problem paying the boat trailer parking fees. I'm good with that. And he'd be the best spokesperson for it. Because he said, yeah, every park you go to, every boat ramp you go into, you gotta pay that, and you guys are cheap. He said, but what I don't like is that when I come back to my boat and I got a ticket and, it's just starting to get dark, and maybe we extend the time out. Because I guess he went out to Krabby Bill's, they were out in the lake, they drove the boat over to Krabby Bill's. By the time they got back, the sun had just gone down, and so of course, the gate's locked up or getting locked. So he got a ticket. And yes, we do have a policy that says that, but we also as a council have the ability to amend that policy. And maybe we match it up with Krabby Bill's hours, or maybe a half hour or an hour after Krabby Bill's closes, because we do want to promote economic development. We do want people on that side, if they're out on the lake, to go to the restaurant and be able to get back to their boats, I think. What do y'all think about that? I mean, that's just...
That's a great question, Mayor, because if they're coming back, I mean, there should be, I don't want to call it gray area, but there's got to be some kind of.
A grace period.
Yeah,
Right.
grace period, something, because, one, you just said it, they're spending money in our city. And two, they're probably heading back when it's dusk to dawn, and that changes as the seasons change, as you know, so.
And this gentleman doesn't live in our city, so he was spending money at the restaurant there, and in a building that business pays rent to us. So I think it's, that trickle down, we do want the businesses to succeed there, and so it's just something to talk about. So if we can look into, so I think we need to set a set time instead of the dusk to dawn. I think maybe a set time as the year, maybe we amend it throughout the year, because I know the sun changes, the time change, so. City Manager?
Well, I heard two different timeframes. I heard one after Krabby Bill's closes, like a half hour after, which I think they're probably open till around 9, which is different than a little bit after sunset. So.
Well, I think no, what I'm saying is that's what it does now. It's sunset. But what I'd like to see is maybe an hour after Krabby Bill's closes. So let's say 10 o'clock.
I mean, if that's the pleasure of the council.
If we don't want to move the gate, let's at least give the boaters time to, if they're going to be going to the restaurant, to get back.
Yeah, good evening, Mayor, City Council, Scott Davidoff, Deputy City Manager. Chisholm, and part of the reasons, and I know that this conversation has happened before, the reason that Chisholm is a little bit different than the lakefront ramp is because the park itself, is that the security concerns, then if that is open, there was a security concern in there. So I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware of what that is, but we can certainly take a look at what can be done for that. But that was the reason for the difference in the hours, where at Lakefront, it's a little bit different than Chisholm, where you can get into the back of the park and have that.
Yeah, and that's just where I say, is there a way, if we move the gate, because I understand, and we do have an officer that lives out there, and he does an amazing job, and, you know, to stay up at, I don't know if he goes to bed at 10 o'clock or not, or, you know, I know he locks the gate, right? Is that part of
Yes.
the duties? But as we start, if we look into having, say, a code enforcement officer on call at all times, code compliance officer, you know, especially when we start having our entertainment district, if that stays open later, we're encouraging more activity there. That could be one of the roles of going out there and ensuring that that gate's closed. So I don't want to put it all on our police department to be gate, you know, openers and closers, I think. You know, I think we could spread those duties out some. I don't know, it's just for discussion, you know, if y'all can look into that.
Yeah,
see
well, I
what-
think there was consensus, so we'll move forward with, I think, one or the other.
May I ask a question, Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Is there lighting at those ramps?
If there is, it might be like one at the ramp.
That was my only concern coming in it, because it's pretty dark in that area when it gets dark, but
Yeah.
I don't have that answer as a question. Thank you, Mayor.
Yeah, and I got contacted way early on when I first got elected from Ducks Unlimited, you know, the organization. President of that called me and said, hey, you know, we can't go duck hunting out there, we can't go fishing, and, you know, we love our sportsmen, we love the agriculture here, we love the way of life that, of course, we all once enjoyed here. I know things have changed a little bit, but we do want to protect what, the parts that we still can enjoy. So, it's just, you know, I know these are growing pains in trying to get it right. It's not always easy. So I just think as we hit these bumps in the road, and somebody who has no problem going along with, you know, he says, yeah, you guys improve that boat ramp. I don't mind paying I don't remember the fees, $160 a year, right? I don't mind paying that. But I can't even go to eat and come back and get out. So, and that's no fault of any of our staff for locking the gate. That's the policy that we set. You know, so, but it's with us. It's on us to talk about it and make changes if changes need to be made.
May I ask one more question to the city
Oh, yeah.
manager? City manager, could you, when you do the studies, can you find out what the adjacent towns are doing with their park closures and openings? And if there are different, we'll say Lakeland, let's say Kissimmee, let's say Polk County, just to see what their policies are, if that's okay, Mayor, when they do the investigation?
Yes, sir.
Would that be okay?
Yep.
Yes, we will.
Thank you. Yep. All right. I wanted to add on what Councilmember Urban said. I agree. With the downtown, I don't like telling businesses what to do. We're in a weird situation on that one where there's operations occurring that's outside of the code now. And I think what makes it a little different than many other downtowns is we have the single family surrounding us, immediate surrounding. And that's where I thought that if those restaurants, if they start closing up at 12 and then the other ones close up at 2, it kind of starts winding down the downtown, you know, kind of steps it down. Because I do know that there's some establishments that stay open till 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock. And it's, you know, a lot of music all night, you know, blaring through the whole downtown. And if I hear it a block and a half away, I'm sure the people across the street hear it as well. And if we all want to see the St. Cloud Hotel eventually be completed, and we want people in there to enjoy a good night's sleep somehow, I don't know that would be possible the way we have it now. So I want to start fixing things before, and let's say an investor comes in and the current owner wants to sell it. We wouldn't know that, right? That's a private deal. If the current owner wants to sell it and there's a potential buyer, he goes over there to look at it, and we've got 2 Live Crew playing all night. Not saying that that's the band that's playing, but I mean, there's music similar to that. just blaring throughout our whole downtown, I think that would deter a potential buyer. I know I would not buy that building. And I know, you know, we've looked, like, how can anybody sleep in that place if we, you know, how can we expect something to be redeveloped there if we've got some of these things occurring here? So I'd like to see the downtown kind of wind down once it gets to the wee hours of the wee hours of the night. Is that the right term? I don't know. I never use that. But love our downtown, love our businesses. I want all of them to succeed. I just think when everybody works together, and I've met with a handful of them, I think we can make that work. And I think I have nothing else to say. Other than, I know this council loves this community. Every decision we make, I can bet my life that nobody's taken a kickback. I know everybody likes to say that out there on social media when we try and do everything we can to benefit the citizens in the community. This $60 million project that's going to occur in this parking lot right here, and I read all the social media comments because I want to know. I love and I enjoy knowing what the residents have to say and what they want in our community. That's the feedback we get. I've seen some comments that don't match up to what reality is. I've never heard of any of these council members getting kickbacks or patting their pockets. I believe I think my salary is $33,000 a year from City of St. Cloud, and I enjoy it, and I work very hard in that position. I know Councilmember Gilbert currently is probably at half of that. So we know. I mean, these people love this community. Us three, we grew up here, and this guy's been here probably longer than Colby because, you know, he's been here, what, 35 years, I believe?
37.
37, right. You're not 37 yet, right?
36.
36, see, there we go. So he was here first. But that's what I'm saying. We are all part of this community. We love the community. We want it. I grew up off Narcoossee Road in the county, right? Back when Turtle Creek was a ranch, there were chicken farms, there was citrus, there were pecan trees, there were, you know, you name it. Cattle, you know, where I grew up, it was all country. It was way out in the middle of nowhere. Well, now it's an enclave where the city surrounds it. Yes, I would love to go back 25, 30 years ago when it was that. That's how I grew up. That's what I enjoyed. But that's not reality. So the only thing we can do is help control it in a manner that's beneficial to our community. One, we don't have jobs. Everybody in our community knows we lack job opportunities in our community. So everybody's hitting the road every day. So everybody says, well, we don't have enough roads. Well, the roads are there. The problem is we don't have jobs here. So everybody's hitting the roads every day. So we can't keep up with that. Even if you get onto the turnpike's not wide enough. So even if we were able to get you onto the turnpike, there's too many people hitting the turnpike every day. They're all going to work outside of our city. I know this council, this staff is working very hard to create jobs in our community. That's why we've gone the economic development route. That's why when we're looking up Narcoossee Road, you know, we want commercial there. We don't need to stack more people living on that road. And we are limited to with our commercial options. We only have so many roads that are our main roads. We've got Narcoossee, we've got 192. You know, we're not going to develop commercial properties, you know, all the way throughout the grid. You know, that's just, that doesn't make any sense. So Narcoossee Road, going commercial over residential, I believe was 100% the route, the right path to go. And okay, that's all I have to say. So it's just, it gets old because I believe this council responds to the citizens. I believe we respond to everything that the citizens want. No more car washes, no more storage units, you know, and that's where it takes the citizens to actually be part of the community with us. We want a happy community. We want the people in the community to enjoy this community and to love our community and not spread hatred on social media. And let's be all part of the solutions here. So with that, I will go on to the information section, report section. We have the Recreation Advisory Committee minutes from January 21st, 2026. The Finance Committee minutes, January 20th, 2026. Reports warrant list number 7, fiscal year 26. Thursday, May 21st, 2026, City Council Workshop, 2:30 PM, City Hall, Council Chambers. Monday, May 25th, 2026, City offices closed in observance of Memorial Day. Thursday, June 11th, City Council meeting, 6:30 PM, City Hall, Council Chambers. Friday, June 12th, 2026, Veterans Council meeting, 1 PM, City Hall. Monday, June 15th, 2026, special City Council meeting, 2:30 PM, City Hall, Council Chambers. Monday, June 15th, 2026, City Council workshop immediately following the special council meeting, City Hall, Council Chambers. With that, this meeting is adjourned.